All right, guys, let's get started in child's pose. If you have blocks, 2 blocks on the front of your mat, just put your hands on your blocks. And if not, no big deal. You guys at home, if you have books, you could use those as blocks or not. Your choice. But for now, just deepen your breath. As we'll have a nice abbreviated flow. I call this one back to basics. Good. So come into downward facing dog, using your blocks or not. So if you're using your blocks, use your blocks. If not, no big deal. And if you are on the blocks, you might want to shift your hands back a little bit more so that the heel of your hand is almost on the front of your block where it goes down. Or I guess the back of your block, depending on your perception. Nice. And then, you'll notice the heels, push them down a little bit more. Don't worry about straightening the legs unless that feels good. Nice. If you're on your blocks, your heels might actually touch the ground when they usually wouldn't before. And then like a string is pulling your sacrum up towards the ceiling and back a little bit more. Nice. And this will be the tightest you feel the rest of the day. So just kind of bookmark this. We'll come back to it in a bit. Drop your knees to the ground. And if you're on the blocks, put your hands right behind your blocks on the floor and lift your left leg straight back. That's it. Reach your right arm forward in a handshake position. Take a few breaths. Belly pulls up an inch and into the throat a little bit. And just reach to the extremities, like your toes, your fingertips. And try to get nice and long through the meridian line. And then take one more inhale to stretch. And then exhale, release the hand and the knee down. And we'll simply switch. And so lift your right leg back, your left arm forward. And imagine like your breath was scanning your body, right? Almost like a fax machine, just an old-fashioned one. Every inhale, just kind of going from fingertip to toe. And every exhale in reverse of that. And take one more deep breath. And then release everything down. And then cat-cow your spine. Look forward, stick your butt out a little bit. And on your exhale, round your upper back, tuck your tail. Good. Again, inhale, pull your heart forward through the gates of your shoulders. And then exhale, round your upper back. Yeah, do that a couple times on your own. So spinal flexion and extension. And maybe even start to move a little more according to how you feel. Creatively. Circle the neck or push through child's pose or draw figure eights. You could explore lateral flexion or extension. These are just suggestions. Anything to get out of your head, tuning into your own experience. Nice. Now keep that kind of relaxed demeanor. And let's step into our first plank position. So step your feet back one at a time. If you're on your blocks, use them. If not, no big deal. Push with your hands. Make your arms a little bit stronger. And see if you can draw your tail towards your heels. That's it. And then your heart's going to pull forward a little bit. And then really simply push your heels forward. So you're going to feel the weight in your fingertips. Imagine you're palming a basketball and spreading your fingers simultaneously. So kind of grip with your fingers. Good. Take a deep breath. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Push your hips back. Let's do that a couple of times. Just 2 more times. Inhale forward to plank position. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. One more time. Inhale. Use the whole breath to get there. And on your exhale, pull your hips back to downward facing dog. And then really simply walk your hands back a few inches. If you have your blocks, take the blocks with you. Just about 6 to 12 inches. Just a shorter down dog. Nice. And you guys at home are welcome to do this on your fingertips. That's not available for all of us. But if your fingertips are strong, you can try that. Now push your heels down. Maybe they're on the ground even. That's it. And then walk your hands back about 6 more inches, 6 to 12. Nice. And then do that again, just as slow, all the way back. So 6 to 12 inches. Yeah, 6 to 12 inches until you're all the way at the back of your mat. You can hold your elbows with your hands and just kind of hang out. Yeah. And maybe swing a little left, a little bit right. Good. And then change the cross of your arms. So the opposite arm shifts in front. Nice. And then drop your hands on the floor or on your blocks and pull your chest forward. So lengthen your spine. Good. And then fold forward on your exhale. Let's do it 2 more times. So inhale, fingertips or hands on palms flat, lengthen, and then fold forward to deepen. And then 1 more time. So hold this one. So take a few breaths here. Place the hands on your hips, but hold the strength in your back. Point your elbows up, micro bend your knees, and we'll stand all the way up. Good, nice job. Reach your arms straight up, forward and up, and then fold forward on your exhale. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. All right, we're just going to do that again. Stand up, reach forward and up, lift your back ribs, and then fold forward on your exhale. No rush. Good, 3 more. Inhale, stand. Nice. Fold on your exhale. Really good. Inhale, stand, sweep the arms up, back body lifts. Fold on your exhale. You're hinging from your hips. And then 1 more time. Inhale, stand up, sweep the arms. And then fold forward on your exhale. So put your hands on the floor, or if you have the blocks, put them on your blocks. And then walk your blocks forward about a foot. Good. Go super slow. Just start to kind of walk the hands out one at a time like you're primitively like an animal. Just out in the wilderness until you're back into downward facing dog. Notice when your heels lift off the ground. Most of us, that'll happen. Just going to notice when it happens for you. Nice. And then once you're back there, forward to plank position on your inhale. And bend your elbows. It can be 1 inch or it could be a lot. You choose. Your chaturanga. Right? Press straight up to plank pose. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Good. And then just like we did, walk your hands back to your feet. Take the blocks with you if you're using them. This time maybe not as slow as we did the first one, your own pace. But once you do get back there, come back to your flat back, so lengthen your spine. Try to keep that length and crawl back to downward facing dog. And maybe give yourself 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah, don't be concerned about the time. And then once you get to your palms flat again, you'll pull back to plank position on your inhale. Your own chaturanga, 1 inch or a lot. Press up to plank on your inhale. Downward facing dog. Let's do this again. Walk your hands back to your feet. Get your heels really heavy the whole time. That's it. Get your trunk long. And then once you feel like you can lengthen your spine a little more, do it. Keep the length and then crawl back to downward facing dog. Really simple stuff. Pay attention to the transitions. Not just about down dog or forward fold, but how do we get there? All right. And then once you're there, 1 more time, inhale, pull forward to plank. Bend your elbows a little bit or a lot on your exhale. Inhale, straight up to plank. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. Beautiful. Now lift your heels up this time. So your palms are flat. And if you're on the blocks, this will be a little bit easier. Start to tippy toe your feet forward 1 at a time. So you're just baby stepping your feet. Let's say you take about 20 steps. I don't know how many exactly it'll be. Once you get your feet behind your hands, keep your heels lifted. Most people have to come up to their fingertips to make this work. But if you're on blocks, you might not. Nice. And then see if you can lift the heels a little higher. You might even bend the knees a little bit. Good. 2 more breaths. Feel the toe stretch. Nice. And then set your heels down. Lengthen your spine on your inhale. And then in reverse, push your hands into the floor or your blocks. Lift your heels up a little bit first. And then take about 10 baby steps back, just 1 at a time. Let the last thing happen be the heels pushing down. Super simple. Yeah, the sooner you get your palms flat, the easier it gets. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale forward to plank position. Exhale your chaturanga, just a little bend or a lot. Inhale straight to plank pose. Downward facing dog. Lift your heels, tippy toes. 1 more time, just baby steps. Now you're getting the hang of it. The more you push your hands down, the lighter the heels will get. In a perfect world, the palms are flat, but most of us come up to the fingertips. Once you get to the front of your mat, keep your heels lifted. Look at it like a toe stretch and a calf muscle strengthener. So I bend my knees, right? 2 more breaths. Gorgeous. And then set your heels down. Lengthen your spine on your inhale. And then this time fold forward. And we're going to stand all the way up. Sweep the arms up, sweep them over your head. And you can draw the hands to your heart on your exhale. Nice. This time as you reach up, just look up at your hands. You might lean back a little bit and then fold forward on your exhale. Nice. Now step the left foot to the back of your mat. Nice. If you have those blocks, you're just going to push them out onto the front, onto the wood floor in front of your mat. Everybody set the left knee down. Good. Place the hands on top of your right thigh. There's probably 100 ways to do this pose. We're just going to do it this way today. Reach your arms forward. And as you reach forward, start to lean forward. Get as long as you can. Imagine touching the front wall. Right? When you know that you can't reach any further forward, put your hands either on the floor or on your blocks. Right? Take a couple breaths. So it almost feels like your arms are in down dog here because your hands are not under your shoulders, they're in front of your shoulders. So curl the back toes under and lift your back knee up. And you can drop your head and push with your arms. So you basically are doing down dog with your upper body. Good. Now put all the weight in your right foot and your hands and just kind of drag your left foot up into the air. So you might know this one as a split, a standing version of the splits. And then just let your head hang. Just let it relax. Good. Really nice. All right, take one more deep breath here. And then set your left foot next to your right foot and switch. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Set your right knee down on the floor. Take your time. Climb the hands on top of your left thigh when you're ready. And put some pressure into your feet. And then we'll reach the arms in front of us and just kind of go slow. So that way you can get maximum length. Start to reach as far forward as you can. Yeah. Nice. And then hands will either come down to the blocks or the floor, right where the hands are. And then just take a couple breaths. This is one of my favorite stretches these days. Try to get into the quadricep, psoas, hip flexor. And then intensify the stretch by curling the back toes and lifting your back knee up. And just kind of emulate down dog in your upper body. There we go. Nice, and we're looking for a pressing action here. So press your left foot down, start to lift your right leg up into the air. Just kind of you're dragging it against gravity. Notice the soft face, the relaxed jaw, the squared hips. Let's take one more deep breath. Set your right foot next to your left. Step your left foot back again. We'll do Crescent Pose with the right foot in the front of the mat. You can reach your arms straight up when you're ready. Good, so any arm position here is fine. Just kind of emulating what we just did. You might want to bend your back knee if you're a little tighter. I know I do. Good, now when you're ready, start to lean forward, just like we did earlier. Reach as far forward as you can. And then reach for your blocks to the floor first, and then lift your back leg up and off the ground next. Same idea. We'll just take one breath here. And then set your left foot next to your right. And then we'll switch. Step the right foot to the back of your mat. Super simple. Reach your arms straight up, Crescent Pose. Yeah, so not trying to get too confusing with the sequencing. Just really basic movements. The quality of our movements. Minimizing all the little stuff. Good, when you're ready, start to lean forward. You're pulling your left hip back. Try to get your hands to kind of touch the blocks or the floor first, almost as you lift your right leg simultaneously. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. And then set your right foot next to your left. Let's just do that one more time with our breath. Flat back inhale. Step your left foot back on your exhale. Inhale, reach up, Crescent Pose. Exhale, lean forward and pause. Inhale, hands come down, back leg lifts. And then exhale, feet together. Flat back inhale, your rhythm. Step your right foot back on your exhale. Nice. Inhale, reach up vibrantly with your arms. And then exhale, lean forward and patiently wait. Hands come down as you lift your back leg, breathe in. And then set your right foot next to your left as you breathe out. Good. Pause here. We'll lose the blocks if you've been using them. And then push your fingertips or palms down, lift your heels one more time, and take about 10 baby steps to the back of your mat. And again, I have to use my fingertips. I wish I could get my palms flat earlier. Maybe one day. That's it, you guys. As you inhale, pull forward to plank position. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Nice and easy. Once you get there, we call this a floating cobra. Lift your hands a little bit, lift your feet a little bit, pull your elbows in. So your hands and feet are floating above the ground. Yeah, and notice this is like the back bend nobody hurts themselves in, right? So you want to keep the same technique even when we press the hands down. So go ahead, set your feet down, press your hands down. You can even slide your hands back a little bit for Cobra. Pull your elbows in, arch your spine. And then we'll take one more deep breath. Downward facing dog, tuck the toes, and press your hips up and back. Nice job. Walk your hands back to your feet, but then I want you to separate your feet a little bit wider for a Yogi Squat at the back of your mat. So pivot your feet out about 30 degrees. And if you don't get your heels down, no big deal. You can elevate your heels or even sit on a block. We're not going to spend long here, but let's take a big breath together. So as big as you can, inhale through your nose. Open the mouth, let it go. And then reach your arms up, real simple. Interlace your fingers. And as you inhale, just stand up. All right? And then on your exhale, just squat down back to your own degree. And 3 more times. Inhale, stand all the way up. And then exhale, squat down. Try not to let your knees collapse. Inhale, stand. Exhale, squat. Last one, inhale, stand. And then just squat halfway and hold it for a few breaths. And so squat halfway, pull your hips back, try to lengthen your trunk. 2. And 1, we're just going to stand up and release your arms down by your sides and walk or waddle up to the front of your mat. All right, bring your feet together. We're just going to build off what we've already done. Big inhale, reach your arms up. And then full salutation, fold all the way down. Good, flat back on your inhale. You can still step back to plank, jump back this time if you want, and lower slowly down for your first full vinyasa, right? Cobra or upward facing dog. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Just going to take 3 breaths, full cycles. Good. Now this time as you lift your heels, start to bend your knees and look forward. And you can walk, step, or you can lightly jump to the front of your mat. Good. Flat back inhale. Fold on your exhale. Stand, inhale, sweep the arms up and over. And then hands to your heart. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Look up maybe. Lean back if you wish. Fold on your exhale. Hinge from your hips. Flat back inhale. You can go slower if you want. Step or jump your feet back and lower slowly down, chaturanga. On your inhale, it's a little back bend. Just make sure it feels sweet. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog with that soft gaze past your feet. All right. So the focus point isn't visual, right? Let it be what you feel, what you sense. And let's do it again. Lift your heels high. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step, float, or fly to the top of your space. Flat back inhale, lengthen the spine. Fold on your exhale. And big inhale to stand up. Sweep your arms up and over your head. And then hands to heart, fusing with intention. And then again, inhale, reach up with meaning. Fold forward on your exhale. Hinge from your waist. Beautiful. Flat back inhale, not a race. Step back to plank or jump back and lower slowly down. Upper body and core strength. Good. Cobra or upward facing dog. They include length. Then downward facing dog on your exhale. Nice. Notice the circulation's already picking up a little bit. Most of our benefits are really just from that alone. Let's see if we can just stay in that zone and just build a little bit more awareness. So here's one of the more basic movements that we overlook. Bring the right knee to your nose and shift forward so your shoulders are above your wrists. Nice. And then instead of moving the knee forward, just move your knee down towards the ground. Look a little forward as you inhale, and then lift it up again as you exhale, round your spine. 2 more. Inhale, lower the knee a bit, and then exhale, lift it. Last one, go slow on the way down, and like a big burst of energy, step your right foot forward, warrior 2. Spin your back foot flat, and circle the left arm open. The left arm's behind you. Good. We're going to wrap the arms today. So wrap your right arm underneath your left arm for what's known as the Garudasana or eagle arms. You can lift your elbows up a little bit. So for me, this one always does it for my trapezius muscle and my rhomboids. I start to feel more relaxed. So I want you to get a little more relaxed in your shoulders and try to keep them relaxed as you open the arms again. So warrior 2, nice and slow. Good. Turn your right palm to face up. You're just going to reach your right arm straight up and back. Slide your left hand either down your left leg or maybe on your hip. for that reversed or peaceful warrior. Beautiful. Now come back to your warrior two. You're going to place your right forearm on top of your right thigh. So you're in this modified side angle pose. And they're just a little bit different for today. I want you to slide your right forearm right off the tip of your thigh or your knee where it starts, and then down your knee an inch or two. But keep that forearm bent, almost like you're about to do a dumbbell curl with your right arm. And then reach your left arm to the front of the room. So one arm's pulling and the other one's kind of pushing and reaching. We'll come back here in a second. On your next inhale, back to reverse warrior, sweep it all the way back. And then come right to that bicep curl position, right forearm off the tip of your knee, left arm to the front of the room. Two more. Inhale, big reverse warrior, sweep it back. And then exhale, forearm to the tip of the knee and a little down. Gorgeous. One more time. Inhale, sweep it all the way back. And then your vinyasa, or just go straight to down dog, windmill the hands to the ground. And that's where we'll meet. Gorgeous. And then bring the left knee towards your nose. Same idea. Let the knee move down instead of forward. Inhale. Lift your knee up and round your spine. Inhale again, move a little down. And then lift it a little quicker. One more time. Inhale, knee comes down. And then a big burst of energy, step it right between your hands. Spin your back foot flat, warrior two. Windmill the right arm under, open. And then we'll take Garudasana with your other arm underneath. So left arm under right. Right. Wrap your elbows up. Lift your elbows a little higher. And again, can you just kind of melt and dissolve any tension in your shoulders, in your traps? Good. And the key is to keep that as you reopen your arms. So go ahead, open your arms, warrior two. Turn your left palm up, reach the left arm up and back, reverse warrior. Good. Now let's set it up. So come back to warrior two. Get your left forearm out. Place it on your left thigh. And then just kind of over the tip of your knee and down just an inch or two. You don't have to go too far. Reach your right arm to the front of the room. Pull with your left bicep. There we go. Inhale 3 times. Sweep it all the way back. And then exhale, forearm to the tip of the knee. Right arm to the front. Inhale, swing it back. Legs are strong. Exhale, forearm to knee, right arm forward. Last time, inhale, sweep it back. Then we'll meet in downward facing dog, hands to the mat. Good. All right, and then moving on from downward facing dog. Let's lift the heels again. As you inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step, or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Flat back inhale, find a rhythm. Fold as you exhale, separate your feet a little wider. Go hips distance. And then bend your knees 90 degrees and start to crawl your hands as far in front of you as you can. Your knees are bent a lot though. This is actually a great place to stay. If you feel strong and safe in your lower back, reach your arms to the front of the room. Pull your hips away from your fingertips. 3. Nice, you guys. 2. And in 1, swing the hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and you can fold forward by lifting the hands away from your back. Probably want to straighten the legs a little bit, maybe a lot. Good, 1 more time. Bend your knees deeply, either fingers out in front of you or reaching to the front of the room. 3. Good, 2. And 1, swing the hands behind you again. Interlace and fold forward. Just let your head drop. Let your hands fold off your back. And pretty sweet, you guys. Drop your hands down, heel toe your feet together for a traditional chair pose. All right, so Utkatasana. Bend your knees up to 90 degrees. Peel your chest off your thighs for 3. 2, lengthen out your trunk. Sink a little deeper. Last 1. And then fold forward on your exhale, hands to the ground. Flat back inhale, your vinyasa, or just step back to downward facing dog. All right, last couple poses. Lift your right leg back this time. Bend the right knee and open up your hip. And then step right between your hands and spin your back foot flat. Good. Hop the right hand to the inside of your right foot on the ground and reach your left arm up. Take your left hand behind your back, right? You might grab onto your inner thigh or your shorts. Take a few breaths. Maybe you connect your hands here. I don't know. Up to you. Good. And then you might keep your hands together. We'll see here. Straighten your right leg any amount. See how that feels. At any point, you might want to grab your right ankle with your right hand, or maybe a little higher up your ankle. Beautiful. And then peel that left chest open nice and wide. It's an open pose. You want to feel the legs straight. Nice, you guys. And then just start to reach that left arm up. So if you're in the bind, you can grab your right ankle at this time. You're going to look down in front of your toes, bend your right knee and take your time. So you're going to start to walk your right hand forward, maybe even grab your block if you need it, and eventually lift your left leg up into the air. So for the half moon pose, you're welcome to choose the variation that suits you if you want to catch your left foot or whatever the case may be. Nice, you guys. Now put a little bend in the standing knee to protect the sacrum and place both hands on the ground or on your blocks. Square your hips. Nice. And then take a huge step back with your left foot to the back of your mat and set your left knee down. Straighten your right leg. Think half split. So you're going to straighten that right leg, point the right toes up towards the ceiling. And you just want to drape your belly button as far over your thigh as you can. And feel a part of you relax, release, a part that maybe wasn't relaxed before. Good, nice job. Bend your right knee. We'll take a brief pigeon pose. Heel toe your right foot over to the left side of your mat. Drop your right knee right behind your right wrist. If you know this isn't going to be great for your knee, you're always welcome to lie on your back. And we'll be here for about 5 breaths. Yeah. Otherwise, just kind of slide that left knee back a little bit more. You surrender the head, surrender the jaw. Surrender just means let go of control. All right, let's meet back in downward facing dog. Last standing side to go today. Super basic. Lift your left leg up. Pay attention to the process, to the transition. Bend the knee, open up your hip. Good, and then step right between your hands, spin your back foot flat, hop the left hand to the inside of your foot, and reach your right arm up. Eventually drop your right hand behind your back. So approaching that half wrap, or we call it a full bind. Some of you want to connect your hands, that's fine. It's an extension pose of your spine. So you want to feel like you're pulling the crown of your head to the front of the room. So that means if your hands are together, it kind of feels like you want to lift up on your leg, like you're trying to pick it up with your strength. Nice. Now, wherever you are, can you straighten your left leg at all? If not, you might want to grab your left ankle with your left hand, and then you'll be able to straighten the leg or use your block. Good. And then add your right arm. Notice that lift of your right arm gives you more buoyancy, float it up, the energy starts to rise. So you're in triangle, left hand's down, right arm to the sky. Go ahead and peek down in front of your toes. Stay focused, bend your left knee, crawl your left hand forward or use your block, right? Eventually float, kind of press your right leg up and off the ground, half moon. You're in a star shape, right? All 5 points should feel vibrant. Don't try not to fall. Try to defy gravity. And then we'll set both hands on the ground. Make sure you square your hips first. Take a huge step back with your right foot, back of your mat, and set your right knee down. Straighten your left leg, half splits. Good. Flex your left ankle, toes point back. Good. And then pigeon pose. Bend your left knee, heel toe your left foot over to the right. Yeah. Remember, you can lie down on your back here if you need. There's nothing worse than kind of feeling like you have to do something that puts your body in pain. Strong sensations are fine. We encourage you to hold those. Pain is no bueno. Don't want it to sharpen. Don't want to put anything at risk. Good. Such a nice job, you guys. So we're going to meet on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana will be our Shavasana. So soles of your feet will come together on your back. You just let the knees drop open to the sides like a little diamond shape. Yeah, so just lie down on your back. If you're already there, you don't have to do anything. Good. And then take the arms wherever is comfortable for you. And then as big as you can, take an inhale through your nose. Hold on to that breath for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. And then let the next breath be completely natural. Let the next 20,000 breaths or 30,000, the amounts you take in a day, be completely natural. The hopes that the residual effects of our practice will seep into our everyday life.